Try to make it rain in the corner, but
there he is. So Rafa and Luke have been working together on trying to use the quad cortex, which is a digital thing, well, it is, it's a digital thing. It's a box, it's a clever box of magic. No one knows how it works. So over to you, Luke, don't deafen everyone too much.
So it works in that sense. It's a shame I can't get obviously people to try, but it's limited on time. But you know, this for me is always a winner. It always will be.
Is that because you've invested as much as you need for a mortgage in it?
Yeah. Well, you know, I live at home. Don't need a mortgage yet. I want that.
That'd be me. Sorry.
Yeah, I'd use it. Especially when I perform abroad. Obviously I can't take all this with me. I could easily take that in a case. And like I said, it's monitors you need on those type of things, or in-ears.
Pioneering digital rigs for, well, since he's been on the forum. Thomas has been playing with the quad cortex as well, hasn't he? So he's another great source of information.
Yeah, you move him to the right side.
Yeah.
he used to be with a competitor, now he's with Neural.
Yeah. Rafa and Luke, thank you so much for that. That is brilliant. So you guys can mill around again now while we set up for the next thing. Enjoy, and yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
So basically, I've got the full rack here, full rig. But the key thing really to show is the cat dual lamp, which is sort of in the middle of it really. It's 3U. Like the start of the video.
David, thank you so much for running through your rig. You've probably all got about 10-15 minutes to mingle, and then we'll be doing something else. Enjoy. Thank you. Agreed to come back, that we would talk about the 60th birthday of the race special. For those of you that don't know, I don't know why you're here, but Brad has literally wrote the book on the Red Special, and we all got a great amount of information from him taking that upon himself and working with Brian to put together. So first off, massive round of applause to Brian.
That all sounds like a whale waking up on a Sunday morning. So that sounds like the speakers going, doesn't it? Take the neck off, have bridge and middle together again in a series and in phase, which is his main rhythm sound. But anyway, this is all three on in series and in phase.
Simon Brennan, thank you very much for your time. It's a bit warm here, isn't it? The AC keeps being a bit too cold, so we're going to try the door open. So, this is, as I mentioned earlier, a massive step forward for us in moving the meetup from our home in Thiel Village Hall, which many of you will have been to, and it's held a special place in our heart. And it was a big decision to move to here and to try and increase the numbers so that we could make sure that more people from the community felt welcome to be part of the Red Special Guitar Meetup. So I hope you all can see the difference and can understand the amount of effort that's gone into being able to do that. And none of that would work without the strength of the community online and people here today. So I thought it would be really good to put something together just to talk about what that all means to me and to some of you. So we put together, with the help of Andrick Hernandez, a video. Are we good to go?
Hope you guys have a fun weekend. I wish I could be there with you. And I hope somebody will play Time of the Down for me.
I also want to thank every single person who I asked to do the video. Sorry I couldn't ask everyone, but that'd be a very long video. Probably take the whole weekend. So a big round of applause to everyone who participated in that. I want to just talk a little bit about the people that help, because I don't think they get enough praise. I was going to do this a bit later, but we'll do it now. It's easy to look and say thank you to me for putting this together, but without the support of the team of people that help. Alright, Steve. Without the support of the people that help, this wouldn't happen. And those people are the people with the red lanyards on. It's Steve McCullough, big round of applause. Steve's been instrumental, I hate to use that word again from the joke earlier this time, but Steve has been the man behind the scenes, forcing the hotel to bend to our will, making sure that this all goes on, making sure that they're being honest with their money, and we're making sure that we're capturing who's paid and done everything. Steve, we really couldn't have done this year without you at all. You've been fantastic over the last 3-4 months, obviously since the beginning, but a massive round of applause to Steve, please. Another person I want to say a big thank you to is Jonathan Planner, who's stood over there. I also want to say thank you to, I've got to remember everyone now, in no particular order. Dan Thomas, who is over here at the front. Yes, mate.
There's another person.
Oh, arrived. So I'm just going to stop talking about that, and I'd like to introduce you to one of my really good friends, Dr. Sir Brian Harold May. Oh, damn it, I ruined it. He's in here. He's just outside. No, he isn't. I made it up. Oh, anyway, let's talk about people that helped. Sorry, Steve. So we'll go back to people that helped. Ultimate fail. I hope we got that on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sir Brian Harold May.
It's incredible. I'm so glad that this happened at a time when I could come. I've been a bit poorly, as you might know, but so I haven't been going out a lot at all. I haven't been anywhere in the last few weeks, except to the cricket. Can't cancel that. But I'm kind of at your disposal, really. I don't have a script or anything. I wasn't even last night. I wasn't sure I was going to get here. But what a stupendous thing this is, and you come from all corners of the globe. I can't believe it. I would love to get around and at least kind of shake everybody's hands when we've done what we're doing.
Yeah.
Try and communicate. It's going to be hard to communicate properly with everyone, but I want to look into everybody's eyes and get that moment, So why are you here?
Plastic I think it was something someone finished about 60 years ago this month.
It's amazing. Anything else that I tried, because I tried a lot of my mates. I'm just chatting away here, is that alright? Sorry, John, did you have something you want to ask?
Well, first off, I can't believe they let you in without your pass. Here's what I made earlier. Yeah. We've got a pass for you, Brian. Commemorate you being here.
That's lovely. I hope I've got a goodie bag.
You do.
I love your sixpences. You've got me sixpences. Look, I'm very... I wear this a lot. I didn't just wear it to obsequious to you. Now you can tell because it's got bits all over it. Stains and bits of gardening and whatever. But I will wear this so I can remember who I am.
Just in case anyone doesn't know when you're on the show. So we did actually get you a load of stuff, but it's not here.
So, do you want to talk about stuff? Do you
Yeah.
do a Q&A kind of thing, and then maybe we can have sort of cups of tea together and stuff? What do you just come off? You come off a video, right?
Yeah, video of the community, so there's all people from all over the country, all over the world, saying what the Meetup means to them. So everyone's in here under the guise of watching that, but it was to get everyone in the room and close the curtains.
It's incredible. I mean, I am truly gobsmacked. Walking in there just now, my heart is racing. Because this really, got to the heart. I'm still alive. I am now identifying as a cat because I've So, does that answer the question? Thank you. Torturous answer. What is that? It's amazing. Wonderful thing. My Q&A now. Wow. It's incredible. It's beauty. Oh my God. No, you can't do this. What? in Mexico. Incredible. Do you have another one? What is the incredible one? Bloody hell, it's beautiful. You guys have all seen this before, right?
Yeah.
Never even seen a picture of this. It's extraordinary, isn't it? It sounds amazing. So beautiful. Lost in wonder.
Don't make them inspired.
It's a work of art. We should talk later. This guy. How long did it take you to name? How long did you spend making?
He has a luthier that made it for him.
Oh.
The whole.
Como 6 months or more.
And what is the main metal? What is the material?
Es carbón steel.
Still has a stainless.
Stainless steel. Thank you so much. Because I modelled the guitar in many ways on this very cheap little guitar that my mom and dad bought me, the Egmont Frere guitar, and I wanted the fingerboard to feel the same way that did. So I measured it all up and sort of got the profile and fashioned out of the 100-year-old fireplace the neck that I was going to use on my guitar. And I pretty much matched the profile. I had my fingers around it, I would play it before it had strings on. And then, of course, I put the fingerboard on and the frets on. What I forgot was the fingerboard had a width thickness as well. It's a bit of an elementary mistake to make. So my neck of the guitar ended up thicker than I'd planned. And first of all, I thought, oh, I'm not sure if I can handle this. But what I found was I really liked it. It seemed to sit in my hand better. So at that point, I could have gone back and taken down the neck. But I just thought, no, I really like the way this feels. So I kept it. But in a sense, the thickness of the neck, which bothers a lot of people, a lot of people don't like the neck on the super. I just found it worked for me. It always has. Sir, in the front. I don't know your name, sorry.
Merlin.
Right, nice to meet you. I don't know your name.
Thank
Nice to meet you. And you are, sir.
I met you in Malta once, like 10 years ago.
In Malta?
Yes, you signed my guitar.
Happy to see you.
Thank you again. Lightning strikes twice.
Apparently so. Watch out.
I have this memory of listening to Queen on Walkmans and headphones and stuff. And there's a particular time when I was listening to Bicycle Race solo, answering from both sides. Like I was like, what's this? Like, because it was the first time I heard it. And then I noticed that by time you sort of experimented or did the same with a kind of magic. And is that a conscious decision, like to have some revisiting of ideas and interpreting in a different out of there?
It's hard to say what's intentional because you find stuff coming out of you. You know, this business of ping-ponging the guitars, I always liked. I always loved to play with the stereo. And but I'm thinking of something like Bicycle Race. I'm not that good a player at playing like long, fast passages. So for me, this is an admission. So I will play it in the studio. I will play. I can hear it all in my head how I want it to be, but I will play it a piece at a time. Now I can and I can get it both just the way I want it to be. But they're separate, so it's very easy to put one over here and one over here. And if I hear them like that, I love this conversation going on, so it happens naturally. And if you asked me, I probably couldn't play more than one anyway. So it was, you're asking if it's an accident or not, it's partly an accident, I suppose. But I guess what we loved was we built up our vocabulary as Queen, meaning we built up certain little trademarks, like the harmony vocals, the harmony guitars, the multi-tracking, moving around the stereo, all sorts of things. And then you use your vocabulary every time you go in the studio, but you try to expand that vocabulary every time you go in. Certain things will happen by design, and that's good. You bring me to a very interesting area, if you don't mind me going on for a while. Because as you get older, you've seen more and more and more stuff. You've heard more and more and more stuff. And when I hear a lot of music today, I think, oh, that's nice. Now they've taken that from here, they've taken that from here. This is a piece of so-and-so. You know, they've been listening to the Grateful Dead, they've been listening to the Who. You know, I can tell where it all comes from. And after a while, you hear everything like that, and I hear myself like that. And I start to think about AI. You know, we're all very suspicious and worried about AI. We're all worried about it. Why are we worried about it? Because it does just that. It steals from everything and puts it together. And there's a danger that it does it better than we do. So that's why we're so upset about AI. But to me, I now look at the creation of music in that light. And every time I come up with something these days, I think, oh yeah, but I got that from here, you know, I got that from... And it sort of stops me, it holds me up from writing. I should probably get over that. But you know, when you're young, you don't care. Wait, I'm doing this, maybe I picked it up from a gig I saw last night. I don't care, I'm going to play this, and this is going to become my song. As you get older and conscious like me, you start to think too much, I suppose. And a lot of the stuff that we did in the studio was very spontaneous, and we didn't have time to think. I think that was sometimes the most fruitful I did meet you probably know this story, right? I met her a few years later when we were presented to the Queen on a strange sort of occasion in the palace, and I was presented to the Queen along with Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and Jimmy Page. Four of us are standing there waiting for her to appear. She suddenly appears through a doorway like where those amps are, comes in, and we're the first person that she's beside. She obviously has no idea who we are. Seriously. And she has a guy with her with a clipboard. And I think, oh, look, you're not supposed to speak first, but I thought this is embarrassing, so I went, oh, I'm very pleased to meet you, knowing that I shouldn't say that. And she said, oh, it's very nice to meet you. This is all on film somewhere. And I said, I'm the person who made all that noise on your roof. She said, no, it was you. We went from there. It was quite amusing. I think she was very lucky in a way. But you know, obviously she had certain areas where she was knowledgeable, like corgis and stuff. But rock and roll wasn't one of them. So she was into. Well, I introduced her to Eric Clapton. I said, well, this is Eric Clapton, one of the most wonderful guitarists this country's ever produced. And she said, oh, how long have you been playing then? And he said, quite a while actually. These are fun things that happen in my life. Being on that roof, oh my god, yeah, I went for rehearsals, and every time the car got close, I could see up to the town I was going to be on, and like my stomach dropped out, I just, I can't do this. There's a billion people going to be watching this. I have one chance, I can't mime it, I can't have any safety in it. I get one chance, I'm going to die. And everybody knows what God Save the Queen should sound like, right? So I say, oh, I meant to do that. Which is always a good ruse. You know that. You're supposed to play it. And I've written this arrangement that people don't generally know that, but the whole of the beginning of that program I had written for the orchestra and for me to be the soloist. It's a kind of fanfare thing which I joined in. And we'd rehearsed it a lot. We rehearsed it like the whole of the day. On Rabbit and on Winter. So,
mine is the same. What's it like playing with Adam Lambert live?
Adam is a phenomenon. question to answer because it changed a lot during the time that we've been working on it for a long time. Adam has just opened on Broadway in Cabaret, pretty well. And that's kind of where he comes from. He comes from musical theatre. He started off in a version of Wicked in California many years ago. He auditioned for the We Will Rock You band in Las Vegas and was turned down. Not by us. There's actually a filtering process that went on before we got there. We did audition. He was eliminated because he was too theatrical. So obviously they missed something there. No, he's extraordinary. I've never heard of him like that. It's just beyond belief. It goes all the way up. There's no breaks in it. It's solid as iron, and he ticks all those boxes. He's great with the audience. He's nice to be around, and he's able to take on anything that we threw at him. It was very difficult for any singer to step into Freddie's shoes, really difficult. And Adam's attitude was, okay, I'm stepping in there, but I'm going to do it my own way. That's something to respect. But he has this incredible range, incredible power, incredible expression, and the power to interact with an audience. So it was a good plan, really, to get it together with that. You like it?
Hi, I'm Paul. I was wondering, we are very aware of all the changes the guitar and your sound has had over all the years. Is that something you pushed yourself to change the sound, or did it come by circumstance?
I don't know. The fundamental sound of my guitar doesn't change that much, I would say. I suppose I use it in slightly different ways. And the whole spectrum of the guitar was there pretty much to begin with. I'm not very aware of that, to be honest. I think the guitar, to me, is always secondary to the song. It's not an excuse to go in and show off. It's a way of enhancing whatever material you're using. So I'm always trying to coax different textures out of it, different sounds, different moods. But the guitar is very flexible. That's what I like about my guitar. Not just in the way the switches work, but in the way it responds to how you hit it. And I suppose if there's an evolution there, I went more into fingers and less into picks. That's probably the major change that took place over the years. I play a lot more with the fingers on the right hand than I used to, just because it seems to give more expression. But in the heat of the battle, if I'm playing time on down, it's going to be a pick. You have to lay into it.
Show you that sound. There's an in-joke about no time on the down. Everyone plays it. A bit like No Stairway.
That makes me very happy, you know.
Only a couple of things, and it goes off of what we said before Brian came in. There's a group of people here that help out and do some wonderful things for us. And there's some people in the community that go over and above to provide us all with memories of the meetups. And there's a specific person here that, frankly, it's absolutely amazing that he's managed to come this year. He's been documenting the meetups since we started them. And I'd like to ask Uli Hunger to come up and receive an award. next one, or next thing to talk about is, we've already talked about him a little bit, but this year especially, I get a lot of praise for putting this together, but there's a big team of people that help us put this on, and we made the jump to move to this hotel. So the person that found the hotel and then convinced me that it was a good idea is stood over there with a red shirt on. We've already talked about what you've done, Steve, but the effort that you've put into making this happen this year has been absolutely phenomenal. So I would like to ask you to come and get this small token of our appreciation for what you've been doing. Matt and Jack, how are we with the raffle stuff?
Doing well.
Should we do it now?
Well, I think we can still buy a few more tickets.
Well, there is that, yeah.
They buy them in retrospect.
So if you haven't bought a ticket, go and get one. What would you like to announce there?
I think a cup of tea and sort of mosey around.
And then we'll get you back to...
Yeah, come back.
Yeah, so if you all want to go about, and then I'm sure Brian will come and find people, don't all mob in, please. Yeah, go about the rest of your thing. We'll get everyone back in half an hour or so, and we'll do the rest.
I don't know what to say, I'm waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian May.
We'll do the top 5, okay. And then we'll see how you feel.
Okay, sure.
And we got your little gift as well.
Is this a... Who made this?
So, you know Luke Holwerder from America? So Luke did the design, that's his red special.
Amazing.
And so we thought we'd tie in Star Wars and the red special, the 2 best things in the world. And that's an actual picture of me with a Luke Skywalker haircut when I was small.
Amazing. That's great. Brilliant design.
And there's some goodies inside.
Oh yeah?
Yes, an Oreo, in case you're hungry. Coins and some stickers.
Oh, fantastic.
And then we've got some other bits and pieces we'll send you on.
It's very exciting all this, I can't believe it really. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we have been raising money for Save Me and Prostate Cancer UK today, and we have had we've sold 242 tickets, and we've got some fantastic things on offer. So I'm going to put some numbers in here. What should we have as the first prize, Matt?
The first prize?
Yeah.
Are we going big?
Go big. Go big.
Go big.
Go big or go big.
So Nigel Knight has kindly donated a Cat Studio One to the raffle. So. It's a pretty good prize.
Amazing, amazing.
Brian, would you press spin for me? Oh, yeah, it's going, and the number is 127. So that is Bill McCairns. So So we don't have the Cat Studio one because, as we all know, Nigel has not been very well. He's been recovering. So we're going to take your info, Bill. Then when Nigel's back to work, he's going to put it together for you and send it.
This is good enough.
It's a good job this is.
What's the next one?
Spin. There it goes. Where will it stop? It should make a noise. Oh, it does. Okay, it stopped. And the number is 105.
105, Jack. Jason Wheatley. Very good. Come on down. Yeah, we can actually keep that. Sorry, it's on the table.
Yes.
Sorry, this is the word. Someone's turned up and thrown the whole agenda out the window.
Considerate of them.
Normally we're at...
I see it. Wow. Brilliant. Hooray.
So that's for you.
Very nice. These will make
The water is bothering me.
They're no resemblance to my
I'm gonna try it.
Because of
Yeah.
that, they're unique because they were
Tiro.
so rejected. But we were
Can tiro.
that's really kind of nice, and so there'll never be any more of these. Okay, I have a prize as well after this. Okay. Spin. 198. 198.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah, selfie time. Brilliant. Thank you. Fantastic, man. Okay, I have a prize because I just got a little box. Oh, sorry. I just got a little box of the physical version of the Night Comes Down single. So I haven't got it with me, but I could send it to you. We can make that the next prize if you like.
Okay.
It's vinyl, so you have to have a vinyl.
What a great prize.
Will be signed, of course, by someone. So, for the Night Comes Down, it is 53. 53.
Use of C.
I don't have to be anywhere, so I don't mind. Nice way to spend a Saturday. Okay. And it stops and it says 82. 82.
We can say about it. He's got it.
What do we raffle? What about the Sarah Rugg signed artwork? So you can come up and help give that.
Sarah Rugg, ladies and gentlemen.
And the winner is Joe Maisie. Where are you, Joe? There he is, he's coming. Come on, Joe.
She also makes a lot of pictures of me. I've never quite worked out on but
We've got a slideshow.
it's great. It's great. I love to encourage talent. I've seen so much talent through my Instagram, artists like Sarah and also stereoscopists. I've really enjoyed that. A lot of people who are into animals, protecting animals and stuff. So Instagram has been a good thing for me. I don't do so much of it these days. I don't know. Do you do Instagram, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I found it quite difficult in some cases because I like to keep some of my life private, and it's hard to do that if you're being a public figure. And also, sometimes there isn't time to live life and Instagram it. You know what I mean? I couldn't get on. It takes a lot of time. Not everybody's like that. Some people Instagram their every moment, but I can't quite do that. It's an interesting area for me. During lockdown, I played a lot of things. I used it as my sort of performance platform, and that worked out really well. But these days, I find life is very demanding. Even though I'm trying to cut down stuff and simplify life, I find life is always demanding. Normally in a good way, but sometimes it can get on top of you. So yeah, the badger thing has got on top of me because I'm now in possession of so much truth that I hardly dare utter, because it's a terrible mess at the top levels. You know, this whole system which justifies still killing badgers when it's not doing anyone any good. So I wake up every morning with this feeling of failure because I can't get across the truths that I know. So some of that finds its way into Instagram. But I'm limited because we have to work with some of these people. It's a very complex thing. I can understand how people tie themselves up in knots. When you find yourself in the situation where you know stuff, but you can't speak it, that's been my problem. I think that's probably why I got the stroke, because I got so wound up about that kind of stuff. So I'm trying not to do so much of that now, but you know, it's there. Somebody has to do it.
Well done for exposing it.
More raffles! Stop him talking.
I think we all just sit here listening to you. So not a bad prize to win, to be fair.
Well,
Brian, if you'd like to do the honours.
I should have bought tickets.
Yeah.
My hat should be in the ring. 189. 189.
Josh Cottrell.
Change your life.
Definitely could.
I always wanted to cut them in half so they wouldn't do that, but this guy's very cleverly done that.
Mr. Dremel and me.
The other thing that I wasn't able to do when we first made a guitar was I had to make a choice. Either I would wire these things up in parallel or in series. Now, you'd still have a lot of different combinations and a lot of different sounds, but the whole spectrum is changed if you do it in series or in parallel. The parallel thing makes a very open sort of cluck sound, which you hear Jimi Hendrix use on something like Little Wing. And I know for a fact that his guitar tech wired it up specially to do that. So I could choose between that or in parallel, and I chose in parallel because it seemed to give me a wider range of sounds. It also means that these two together make a kind of thick sound, like a humbucker, which I really like. That's my kind of Tiny Mother Down standard sound.
Oh, yeah. Can I ask you, when did you put, am I wrong in having the Vox distortion booster in with those pickups?
Yeah, it was very early I put this on. I bought a Vox distortion booster, which is a red oblong box, die-cast box. I still have it, but I took the guts of it out and put it in here and put the switch in there, because I wanted to sound like, I suppose, like Jimi Hendrix's sound on his first album. But Jimi Hendrix didn't use a fuzzbox for very long either. He went back to using the distortion of the amps to give him what he wanted. I took a little clip of Eddie Van Halen the other day where he's saying, I don't have any of that. I don't have any fuzzboxes or distortion because I just have the guitar and the amp. So, I feel that way, like simplicity is the best way. Really. So it was good to have that there for a while, the fuzzbox, especially when you're playing in a place where you can't turn up very loud. That would be very useful. But I just didn't like the sound of it, to be honest, very much. There's a couple of recordings where I used it, but not Queen recordings. I think I did a... Who knew? I'm trying to produce the ultimate geeky facts.
You've come to the right room.
Something a bit different.
Yeah, thank you. What have you got there?
Can I bring it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got that gentleman over there, a lovely blue shirt. I actually don't know your name, I'm so sorry.
Rob.
Rob. I've got
Hey, Rob.
Rob's sister.
Oh, okay.
And he really wants his son.
Okay.
And I managed to find
guitar last night.
Got any essays written on here as well?
No. Another job for you, babe. Another job.
It's a good job of getting these things off. Who's this to, Rob? Is it Rob? Rob? Rob. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, Rob.
Yeah. R.O.B. Rob. Right. That's what?
Thank you so much. Thank you. To it. And in the beginning, a lot of experimentation. We tried 2 or 3 different kinds of tremolos before we settled on the one which worked. And you've probably seen the book that I put out with Thank you. Yeah. This book has some pictures of the guitar being made, and you can see. Just trying to think. You can see in some cases that I was trying things out before the guitar was a guitar.
Yeah.
Just stretching bits of, there it is, stretching strings across bits of wood. Yeah, this kind of thing. Sort of, a test bed for a tremolo, and that's the one we eventually started to. We ended up using. You can see I put the tremolo on the wrong side first of all. All these little sticks. Why did I do that? I don't know.
Maybe Hendrix.
Yeah, maybe I thought it was left-handed. So I had to braze another piece on to make the tremolo go on the other side, and that original piece of wrongness is still there, so it could be converted to a left-handed guitar quite easily.
I think one of the things that always we talk about as a group is
I've got to say, it is quite a moment for me, really, to be here with you guys. Strangely enough, when we started off, the guitar was kind of viewed as the only interesting thing about the group by some people. So we're a young group where we've just made an album, we're trying to get some attention. It's very difficult to get attention. And we had a publicist called Tony Brainsby, and he said, well, the only way I can get you interviews is if you talk about the guitar that you made yourself. So that's what I did. I went out and talked about the guitar. So the guitar kind of became famous before I did. And it's kind of gone full circle now because the group did quite well. But now you guys are here, and it's because of her and her alone. So it is a very emotional moment for me. Well, obviously because I spent hundreds of hours with my dad making this in our little spare bedroom. Literally hundreds of hours. We both made mistakes. Sometimes the chisel would slip or something. It's all made by hand, of course. We didn't have any electric tools or anything. So all this carving out is just by chisels and spoke shaves and sandpaper. And, very much a hand job
thing, you know, and if you get close to this, you will see the wormholes. It did have wood worm in it, which I filled up with matchsticks and was stained them red so you can't see them that easily. But that'll show you that it's authentic. That's something none of the copies have, maybe.
There's a few in the room that have gone to great lengths.
Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? That's funny. But it does mean a lot to me that you guys feel that way about the guitar. Very precious to me. I think she'll last just about as long as I do as a functional unit. So I'll try with this rig then, yeah? But don't sit, come and gather round. I can't, you know, stand up. No, just come around and...
Yeah, I would stand back.
We will feel it as well as hear it.
How to sit down?
Whoa. Just give me a second. So just tell me a little about the rig.
So, these are my amps.
Yeah. These are all pretty special cat ones.
Yeah, pretty much the same as yours. Not as special as yours, obviously. And then I've got the Sennheiser radio, which obviously on the table. The G Major 2 is the same effects what you use. And a similar kind of unit really. Designed what yours is, but just built for my needs.
Does it have a chorus device?
Yeah, obviously all that in the G Major 2 and you can change it by the pedalboard here.
Oh, so is the chorus on right
Chorus
now?
is on. Yeah.
And don't forget the badger.
Everything's on, or just the bottom?
Just these three, they're all for show.
I think your ears going
Wow, sounds quite meaty, doesn't it? Can I ask you a question? When you first found your sound back in the day, and you was relying on AC30s at full blast, how did you go about rehearsing when the band was unknown at that volume?
Just stick a load of cushions around it.
Fine.
Yeah, quite easy really. Yeah, I had various amps before the AC30s. I remember I had a Burns thing, a Burns 30 watt, but it had that sort of transistor sound. It sounded distorted, it didn't sound clean when you turned it up. And then I talked to Rory Gallagher. I stayed in the marquee when everyone had gone home and kind of snuck around to see him and asked him how he got his sound, which I love Rory Gallagher's sound and the way he played. And he said, "Oh, Brian, it's just this little amp here and a little treble booster and the guitar. That's all it is."
You making a bed?
Well, I went out the next day to Water Street and we found a couple of these things. I think they were 30 quid each. Not these, not the cat ones, but the original the AC30s. And I plugged in the shop. I took my guitar down to the shop to see if it was going to work, and it just sounded like the perfect thing that I had in my head. It had that singing quality. So it was AC30s for me forever. But they don't travel well, the originals. They're very delicate. So over the years, people have improved, and Nigel has done the ultimate job here, taking out everything that's not needed by me and making everything robust so it can move around and it works every time you switch it on. So the AC30 is a bit of a miracle. I mean, my dad told me why. There's a good reason why these sound different from something like a Marshall or 90% of guitar amps, and the reason is it's a Class A amplifier, which means they have electronic valves in them, with glass things where there's electrons boiling off a cathode and being gathered up someplace else. And what you do is bias the. It's a valve. It's almost like a valve for a pipe in like a water pipe or something. So, but the idea is you put a small signal in to control these electrons boiling off, and what happens is you get a large single out because these electrons amplify everything that you're doing to modify their flow. So the normal way to do it is just plug your signal in and out comes your signal. But the problem is if you go either side of zero, something nasty happens at zero, because you can imagine if you put a negative signal in there, the electrons don't know what to do. So you don't get your signal out reflecting your signal in. You get some horrible distortion. So what they do is they put them back to back. That's what Marshall did. You have two valves back to back. When the signal goes that way, one valve goes into operation. When the signal goes that way, the other valve goes into operation. So there's your nice amplification effect. But in the middle, it's still nasty because it's not a linear translation in the middle. So it's good when you're up here, it's good when you're down the bit. In the middle, it's like going all over the place. So it's inherently distorted. If you play a Marshall amp, even at quite low level, it's already got that distortion. So what these people very cleverly did was bias the curve. So instead of starting at zero, you start halfway up. And if you go up and down with your signal on that straight part of the curve, you get almost exactly a perfect mirror of your input for your output. You get an amplified signal which is very true to the... I've explained that really badly. If you imagine the curve, what they do is they put you up on this part of the curve. And that's what hi-fi amplifiers did in the old days. The old hi-fi amplifiers were Class A, but they also had a negative feedback effect on to make it even more linear. These things don't have the negative feedback. Nigel's going to tell me I'm wrong about this. But they don't have the negative feedback. So what happens is it's beautifully clean when you're at low levels, and as you gradually go up and down that curve and you start to investigate the other areas, the distortion comes very gradually. That's what I love about these things. They sing before they distort. So the low level is very clean. Every part of every note. when it's at the top level, you can still pick out the notes. That's why I love these things. To me, there's almost nothing in the world that sounds this way. And these are perfect because Nigel's got rid of all the gremlins and things that wouldn't work. Where's Nigel?
Yeah. He's hiding here, he can't hear.
Do you endorse what I'm saying, Nigel?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Oh, his job is safe. I always think of my dad with these things because my dad was so helpful to me because he understood electronics, and I was only able to make this because he did teach me all about how signals worked. And these things are not the originals. I made my own pickups in the beginning, which worked okay, but there's a long story as to why they didn't stay with me. These actual pickups I bought in St Giles' Circus in Burns' shop, and it's the only pickups they sold. It's about the only pickups anybody sold in those days. They were 3 guineas each, and I put them on, and they just sounded perfect way. I did try filling them up with resin to stop them feeding back in the wrong way. And that's kind of what I do. But this sounds great. It's a lovely rig.
Thank you.
It's all lovely. A little rusty. There's not much I can play here. What else do you know, young man?
Quite a lot. Try him.
We will rock you. We will rock you. Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that obviously your legacy with Queen is going to transcend forever and be around, but if we've got anything to do with it, the legacy of the guitar will carry on for generations to come. I just want to say thank you to you and your dad for doing it and inspiring us, and not just us, but like
thank you for having me. Thank you for being so incredibly positive. What a lovely day I've had. No fierce criticism. It's nice. That's not always the case. And I'll stick around for a little while, just sort of if anybody else wants something signed or whatever, I'll shake a hand. But I'll gently head home because I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. But it's been a fantastic day. Thank you all so much. Brilliant.
Wow.
Jonathan's got something for you. It's not in the room, but we'll give that to you later.
Can we just have a massive round of applause for Jon? Because without him, this never would have happened.
We've had another video come in this afternoon, which Andre has done his usual thing for, so he's just going to play it now. So, big thank you to Jon. You know, we're all part of this, but he leads it by a long way. And somebody else just wanted to say thank you for the technology at some stage.
Hello everyone. I've been given the great honor of saying thank you to someone who is very, very special to me, Jon Underhill. I messaged Jon a few years ago, and I apologize for not being able to attend the meetup, but I asked him if there was something that I could do for the people that were attending. They had been so kind and had done so much for me that I wanted to say thank you. I suggested maybe a round of drinks or buying dinner for everyone that goes on after the meetup. And he messaged me back and said, that's very kind of you, but is this something you really want to do? I mean, it could get expensive. There's a lot of people coming, maybe 25 or 30? How many of you are there now? Over 100? Yes. Well, that is a testament to all the pride, love, and care that Jon puts into each and one of these meetups. His tireless efforts are the reason that we can all get together, say hello to old friends, and make new ones along the way. The reason we can all get together and celebrate this greatest guitar ever built. So thank you, Jon, for all that you do for each and every one of us. My hat's off to you, brother, and I will see you next year.
So thank you again to all of you. That's the end of the day part of the Red Special Guitar Meetup 2024 thing. I'll post it to you. Cool. Right, lovely. Sorry, day people, I'm afraid I'm going to ask you to leave. I'm so sorry. But thank you very much. If you're here for the weekend, you need to get out of the room now so that take your guitars back to your bedrooms. We'll keep the rig here, but take your guitars back, take your stands with you.